Welcome, everyone, all of you who are here live, all of you who are watching the replay. It is such an honor, such a joy to connect this month in August again for our Priestess Rise Up gathering. So if this is your first time, yay, what an honor that you found your way here. Welcome. And if you've been here before, it's just such a joy that you're back here gathering together with us. So I'm feeling really guided to start with a grounding. Let's really get grounded and present in our body in this moment. Let's open up the space, right? The temple space, because we are together. We are creating this temple. It's not a physical temple, but it's an energetic temple, and it is just actually more powerful. It can be more powerful than a physical temple. So we are creating a temple, a sacred space that is based and rooted in unconditional love. So all spiritual traditions are welcome. This is not a religious gathering. This is not a gathering that is limited by doctrine. So wherever you are, whether you're here live or you're watching the replay, I invite all of us to take some nice cleansing breaths and use your breath to bring you to this moment. Use your breath to bring you to this holy instant, as Course in Miracles calls these moments of presence. Use your breath to connect with your beautiful body, right? That vessel, that sacred container of your soul. And use your breath to bring your awareness to the earth beneath you, around you. And as we connect with that sacred technology, because our breath is part of our sacred technology, as we connect with our breath, I invite you now to bring your awareness to your lower body, to your hips and your pelvis, to your sacral chakra, which is right around your womb space, right around your navel, your roots. And visualize beautiful roots of light going down your legs and out the bottoms of your feet, deep into the earth. And it's perfectly fine to use your imagination, because guess what? Our imagination is also part of our sacred technology. So if you are here and you're new to any of this or all of this, if chakras, you don't know what they are, or you know a little bit, or if you're a master at it, you know a lot about it, I invite all of us to be here in this beginner's mind, to be here in this curious, open space, and to notice if your mind starts to go into analysis or trying to understand. Just kind of like, there's my brain trying to understand. That's okay. There's a place for that. But in this moment, as we gather in this sacred space, we are tuning into our heart, tuning into our soul's guidance, which is way beyond intellectual understanding. So when I say to imagine, visualize roots of light going down your legs, that's exactly what I mean. Now, you might feel it or you might not. That's okay. Roots of light going down into the earth. And we welcome all of our higher selves, our soul, our Holy Spirit, to start to release anything that is unnecessary. What could that be? That could be your own energy, perhaps things you've already healed but are still in your energy field, so we're releasing that. It could be energy from other people. Perhaps you're highly sensitive like I am, and many times growing up we weren't taught how do we nurture our empathy without letting it become codependency or rescuing others or taking on their stuff. So again, allow your soul to just release anybody else's energy, anybody else's pain, anybody else's expectations, judgments, anybody else's initiations. It is not your job. It is not our job to carry that for others. So we're just letting these roots start to release that from everyone here, whether you're here live or watching the replay. And anything else that your soul knows, right, in her great wisdom knows it is not necessary, it does not serve you, you do not need to carry it any longer. I'm hearing like it doesn't keep you safe. So some of these things might be patterns, might be defenses, might be old ways of thinking. In the past felt like it kept you safe, right? We all have that, right? It keeps me safe. It keeps me in the safety zone, in the safety area. And your soul saying, no more. That is actually keeping you limited. So let's all of us, with great courage, we say yes to our soul. Yes, yes, yes. Whatever is meant to be released that is unnecessary, we just let that happen. And as our roots go deep into the earth, let's invite all of our crystal allies, whatever stones, whatever crystals show up for you. And again, no analysis, right? Just trust whatever comes. And if you're totally new to crystals, that's fine. Just trust that there's these beautiful stones showing up as allies, as support for you in this moment. So let your roots just settle, right? So lovingly, they settle into the earth. They settle as they receive the support from these crystals. So you have your own personal space, right? Your own little cave, little basket of crystals for you. And then we also energetically extend our roots to connect with each other, right? So our roots connect with each other. They create this network, interdependent, co-creative connection. This isn't about competition or comparison or rescuing. This is this beautiful co-creative space that our roots are creating. So what happens is we create our collective I am presence, or our collective soul, right? The oversoul of the group. So just feel that and feel how you can be in a co-creative space and still have your beautiful, pristine boundaries. You can be in a collaborative space and still have your beautiful energy field that is surrounding you, that is aligned with your heart. And we practice this here so that when we go out into the world, we take this knowing with us. Just like when you practice yoga on the mat, it's really not for the time on the mat, right? It's for when you're outside in the world. So here we're practicing, how do we stay in our energy? How do we stay grounded? How do we collaborate and co-create with others in an empowering way? And how do we release? You're remembering that you have a divine technology that allows you to release what is unnecessary. So let's breathe all of that beautiful energy in through the bottoms of your feet, the energy of the earth, of renewal, of sobriety, of clarity, of lucidity, of courage and strength and fortitude and fierceness, I'm hearing, of compassion and nurturing. So let all of that flow up your legs. It's bathing you on the inside, this beautiful earth connection, moving through your chakras, through your bones, through your cells, through your spine, moving up your spinal column, the back of your neck, up to the crown of your head. So really feel you're sitting on this throne of your own I am presence. And as you sit here in this throne, what are you learning? You're learning that when you walk through the world, you can walk in this way. You can walk aligned to the earth, aligned, connected to your own beautiful soul. This is what the great masters like Jesus and others meant, right? When they said to be in the world, but not of it. So we gather together not to escape the world, not because, oh, the world's too overwhelming, I can't handle it, let me just kind of hide from it. No, it's not, this lifetime isn't that. And trust me, I get annoyed about that. I'm very upset about that sometimes too. But this lifetime, we're here to embody our higher self, to shine our light, whatever that looks like for you. And again, there's no comparison. There's no like, oh, I should be doing it this way. No, this is your own journey. So if for you, it's more behind the scenes, then it's behind the scenes and powerful. If for you, it's in front of a camera, as I'm doing right now, or in front of a group of people, or however it is, then that's how it is. So just let that settle in. And going back to that teaching, we're in the world, but not of it. Let's settle into our heart. Your heart chakra, your heart energy center. It's that unified field. And this goes beyond our emotional heart, right? This is the wise, this is a temple. Your heart is a temple. So with great honor and reverence for your own beautiful heart, I invite you to step into your heart temple. Breathe and let your heart temple take up more space in you. Breathe, and I'm hearing, let your heart's temple get bigger than whatever hurt you're currently processing. If there's any pain, any hurt, any grief, any sense of betrayal, any fear of loss, all of which is, of course, perfectly normal as a human, right? Like that's the courageous thing we sign up for. We're divine beings and we say, okay, yeah, me, I'll go to earth and feel all these feelings. Really appreciate how courageous that is. And yet, as we gather here together, feel your heart, how it can expand and create space and become bigger than any pain you're carrying. So let's do that together. Just like when you're working out, you're right, we pulse the muscle, right? I've talked about this before, like when I'm doing my current workout routine and I'm doing squats or lunges or bicep curls, there's a point where you're pulsing, you're strengthening. So let's pulse our heart center, right? Let's pulse our heart center together so that we feel that heart center opening past the walls we've put there. There's no judgment. It's a part of the human journey, but together, let's be courageous and open our heart past any self-imposed limitations. I'm feeling Mother Mary, who has been giving me this message for so long now, and some of you were maybe at that retreat, whenever that was, 2 years ago. I don't know, time is so interesting right now, but you know, her message was, don't be afraid to love more. And with so much pain in the world, with so much polarity in the world, with so much all of that, it is very normal for our ego to close our heart or to say, okay, I can love this much, but not more. I can have compassion for these people, but not everyone. I can, you know, radiate love to the good people, but not those, right? It does all this unconsciously, right? Our soul never labels that way. So right now, let's be courageous and extend together. Let's pulse our heart open to that next level of love, of wisdom, of compassion. And as that happens, I'm just bringing already this beautiful Reiki energy to the back of your heart. So just imagine your own beautiful soul. She's bringing her hands to the back of your heart. And she's beaming this beautiful ray of light that is clearing and healing any old wounds from this or other lifetimes that are preventing your heart from opening to that next level. And beautiful green Tara steps in and just chanting that Om Tare Tu Tare Ture Soha. Right? Om Tare Tu Tare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tu Tare Ture Soha. That is the mantra, Green Tara's mantra. What is it? She is the swift savioress, right? She's coming to liberate us from our own self-imposed limitations. So as we chant that mantra, and you don't need to chant it, you can just listen unless you're guided to. We're clearing, really opening. So I'm really seeing the back of all of our hearts, just all these like unnecessary tangled roots, unnecessary memories. I'm hearing unnecessary limitations. You've outgrown them. So clearing that in our heart, opening. You might want to bring your shoulders back as your heart opens. Maybe you're guided to bring your arms open this way as your heart opens to that next level. And what is the most radical next level? What is the hardest next level? The hardest next level is not about loving others. The hardest next level is loving yourself even more than you do now. This isn't narcissism. This isn't about not loving others. But in truth, our greatest initiation is that of loving ourselves unconditionally. And when you commit to that journey of loving yourself unconditionally, you don't become a selfish person. You don't become a narcissist. You don't become an entitled person. All of those diseases of narcissism and all of that, you know, come from actually great self-loathing. When we take the courageous step of saying, I am committed to that practice of learning how to love myself unconditionally, it is the most humbling of journeys. It activates your divine vision. So when you look at others, you look through the illusion into their heart, not with rescuing and codependency, but with that divine sacred love. And that's what the world needs in this moment, always, and in this moment. So our heart is open. As we are here in the space. And that the heart pulsing is going to continue throughout our gathering today. Again, remember what I said in the beginning, right? It's just like when you practice yoga or any other workout, you practice so that when you're out in the world, you've integrated what you've practiced and you become that ambassador, right, of love, of compassion in the world. So we're doing these here now to help us in the rest of our lives. This isn't an escape. This isn't this isn't a band-aid. This isn't an escape from the world. This is a remembering of who you really are. So I'm wearing my Joan of Arc Sword of Truth pendant. And, when I prepare for all of these offerings, a big part of it is there's so many aspects to it, but one of it, I definitely pray over, like, what am I wearing? What am I wearing? It's not even, I see it so much more than jewelry, right? There is a priestess medicine of talismans of power. It's not that we're giving, for example, something like this, that we're saying, oh, that is powerful, I need to worship this pendant. It's that we have the power when we step into our priestess medicine to charge, with our intention, with our clarity and prayers, to say that, okay, this object is going to carry this energy. And so I have a lot of my jewelry and pendants and crystals on different altars around my house. And so when I was preparing for this, I was like, okay, which one is being called to be worn today? And that could be a hard question because I love all of my different things. But this one really is what came forward. And I could feel like, oh, the sword of truth, of course, right? The sword of truth. And how important, let me rephrase that. The only way you can wield, the sword of truth in a way that is actually going to help you and the world is through love. We can wield a sword of truth through arrogance, through pain, through selfishness, through all sorts of things. We've all done it. And that's, there's no shame in it. Again, it's like part of the human journey. But as you step here into this space, you're being called to wield your sword of truth from a place of love. That doesn't mean, you remember, love is tender, love is soft, love is ferocious and fierce. Think of a lioness protecting her cubs. So let's do that mudra of presence, of truth that we've done together. And if this is your first time, it's very easy. Left hand to your knee or thigh, right arm up, bring it down through our center column, and we say, I am present, I am here. So what you're envisioning really is that you're holding your sword of truth. This isn't a sword that hurts others. This is a sword that cuts through illusion, that cuts through the BS, really, cuts through the drama, the distraction. So let's do that again. I am present, I am here. And one more time. I am present, I am here. And I'm being guided to show you, another really version of this, but another way you can use this. Again, remember, these are all tools to use in your life. Now, perhaps you're in a grocery store and you're feeling all ungrounded, or something is triggering you, or you're noticing that you're judging someone and you're like, okay, and maybe you don't feel comfortable doing this, okay? So you visualize, when you've done it enough, you can just go to that moment and kind of use that. Now, I encourage you, if you're okay with it, just do that. But, you can do it internally. The other place, when you're feeling confused, when the mantra in your head goes something like, I don't know what to do. I don't know if I should do this. I don't know if I should do that. Very disempowering, right? When we go into that I don't know place, and I'm so familiar with that place. You can use the same mudra. Instead of the I am present, I am here, do this and you say, what is the truth here? So again, what is the truth here? And when you practice that, it's really amazing what comes forward. It might not be the whole answer you're looking for right yet, but it might be The truth here is you're figuring it out. Stop worrying, right? The truth might be, this is exactly how it's supposed to be in this moment. The truth might be, this is a no. I don't want to do this, and I've been trying to talk myself into it. The truth, so even just like that, like, what is the truth here? Again, what are you doing? You're cutting through the illusion, most of it our own mental sabotaging. And sometimes the truth is I'm scared to know the truth. I'm scared because then I'm going to feel like I need to take action, and I'm afraid to take action. And if that is the truth, be with that. That's okay. It's way more powerful to acknowledge that we have fear, and that's why we're not moving forward, than to go into victim mode and blame everything else, right? But if we can acknowledge, actually, the truth is I'm scared. I'm scared. I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm ready to set that boundary. I don't know if I'm ready to show myself in this way to the world. I'm not ready I don't know if I'm ready to talk about past lives with others, or I'm not ready, so it's okay, because once we become sober, that's what sobriety is in this context, and name it, then the healing can start to happen. So welcome, all of you who are here. There was a lot already in that. I feel a lot of fire today, a lot of that fiery energy. And to review, these gatherings, Priestess Rise Up, right? They're based on my book that I'm literally going to stop saying that I'm writing, and I'm going to say that it's writing me, because that's what came the other day. I was walking, and, it's like I'm writing and these things come up. And then I was like really frustrated, like, God, Goddess, Source, like, why is this taking so long? Like, why can't I just sit and write this whole book? And what I heard was, Lisa, this book is writing you. It's all unfolding in perfect timing. And believe me, I had parts that didn't want to hear that, but it also brought me a lot of relief, because I felt the truth of that. So this book that is writing me, Priestess, Birthing the Priestess Within, the path of the priestess, right? What is it? Is that we're here as ambassadors, as reflections, as mirrors, as radiators of unconditional love to ourselves and for others. It's not a small thing. That's a big thing. And so when I birth this offering once a month, it is really, and I heard right away, it's like Priestess Rise Up. I heard that name, and it was like, oh my gosh, it was like for me, telling me, right, my own soul, the divine saying, Priestess, rise up. And also, like, this is a call for the priestesses to rise up. Now, whether you're comfortable with that label, that's or not, that's, I don't, that's fine. I'm not attached to the word, so you don't have to use that word. But what is it about, right? It really, what I want to talk about a little bit right now is divine feminine leadership, because it is what we are doing as priestesses of the world, is we're modeling divine feminine leadership. How can we model it? We can only model it by practicing it, by practicing it, practicing it, practicing it. So what is divine feminine leadership? It is not just for women. It is way beyond gender. We have both divine masculine and divine feminine energies within us. And the feminine, the divine feminine, has been so suppressed, maligned, and I won't go on a tangent with that, but it has been so suppressed, especially in spirituality, especially in world religions, especially in Christianity. And so divine feminine leadership is saying, okay, wait a minute, I am going to be led from that divine feminine energy within me that works in partnership with the divine masculine. So I want to make that clear. This isn't that we're saying, forget the masculine, we're just embracing the feminine. I've been in that place. And I, frankly, I needed times in my life where I just was like, I am not interested in exploring my divine masculine. I need to really be with the divine feminine. I needed to go through that. And now we're in this time where the divine feminine, we're saying, what are we saying as we gather here together? We're saying beautiful divine feminine energy, beautiful divine feminine face of God, because we know God, creator, is beyond feminine and masculine. And yet we're given those archetypes because it helps us to connect in a certain way. So to connect with God as mother, as feminine, to connect with source as that female source, feminine source, is incredibly healing and incredibly needed. So divine feminine leadership, what is that? Is that we are committed to having a practice, a daily practice, where we're tuning into the wisdom of our soul, where we're receptive, we're receiving, and we're learning we're learning the language. You're learning the language of your soul, and you are letting that lead you. That's the courageous path of divine feminine leadership. Now, where does the divine masculine come in? The divine masculine then takes the action steps we need to take to make it happen. So, for example, with what I just shared, when I was feeling guided to create a free monthly gathering connected to my book, that's what I heard, Priestess Rise Up. That was the divine feminine as I was in that receptive space hearing it. But I could have just sat with that and decided, I'm not ready. People are going to think it's weird. Forget it. I'm going to do it. I don't have time, all of that stuff. Because that's the wounded feminine, right? Our feminine has been so suppressed, that feminine wisdom has been so suppressed that we question it. We frankly have trauma. But then it was my divine masculine that came in and said, all right, we're going to do it. And I had to give myself I'm going to test it out. Because that's what I said. If you have been doing these since the beginning, I said, I'm going to test it out for 3 months because I wanted to know, am I going to still feel like it's the right thing to continue doing? That might be something that you're being guided to do. Test something out. You don't have to commit to a decade of it. Test it out. But so that was, right, the divine feminine leading and the divine masculine follows. The divine feminine works through magnetism, through synchronicity, through divine paradox, through quantum leaps, all the things that freak out our ego, all the things. That's why I often say, if you're a little nervous or feeling a lot of nervous or feeling uncomfortable, you're doing it right. If you're always comfortable, your ego's comfortable, which means you're not stretching. And I don't mean put yourself in a traumatic situation, right? I don't mean that. I don't mean hustle. I don't mean push past what you're meant to be doing. But I do mean, I have a lot of, when I meet with potential clients, this often comes up, these things they want to birth or create, and they're feeling very nervous about. And then they use that nervousness to mean, oh, it must mean I'm not supposed to do it, or it must mean I'm not ready. And what it actually most of the time means is your ego is scared, which makes sense because the ego likes control, likes the plan, likes the blueprint, likes things tidy. And your divine feminine is way beyond that. So our ego constricts as our soul's wanting to expand. That is very, very normal. So I invite you to breathe into your heart. And we're going to go into your heart to speak to your divine feminine and ask her, where is she guiding you to stretch, to expand? So get comfortable. I'm going to drink a little water. I'm feeling a lot of people releasing from their throat, which makes sense because, hold on. I won't get into this today as much, but our tongue is a sort of truth when wielded, connected to our heart temple. If not, it's just hurting people, or it's just kind of withered away. But I think that's why I'm feeling so much in the collective of our group is kind of being released from the throat. So let's go into this beautiful inner journey together. Let yourself relax, let yourself breathe. And if it helps you to lie down or change positions to go inward, please do that. And I'm going to burn just a little bit of sage. I'm hearing just to bring in a real grounded energy as we get ready to expand. So take a moment to connect with your roots that we already did in the beginning. Feel how strong they are. Feel how Mother Earth loves you and supports you. Feel the strength of your muscles, your bones. And I invite you to close your eyes. So a lot of smoke, a lot is being released. So as you close your eyes, I invite you to visualize a beautiful temple of light in front of you. This beautiful temple. Beautiful temple of pearlescent white golden light. And I will describe how it's showing up for me, but please trust however it shows up for you. This is a temple of source, of God, goddess, creator, creatrix. Of course, we know that source is beyond any temple, beyond any location. But in this moment, we're going to have this interaction, this imagery of this beautiful temple of the divine. I'm just guiding, we're going to travel to the seventh plane. We're going to the seventh plane where instantaneous healing, where miracles, where all knowing exists beyond our logical understanding. So together, we're just going up, 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 up. And you're just visualizing light surrounding you. We're safe, we're grounded. As we move through all the planes and we step into the seventh plane. Again, the seventh plane where instantaneous healing, where miracles, where all knowing exists without needing to logically understand how. And so before us is this beautiful temple of the divine. And there's these beautiful columns of white and gold. And there's some streaks of magenta and perhaps other colors. Notice if there's other colors that show up for you. And just trust that. Trust whatever colors show up. And as you get close to the temple, welcome your guardian angels. And we ask your guardian angels to help you clear and release any heaviness, anything that could get in the way of you stepping into receiving all of the blessings. Our guardian angels love you unconditionally. They have no agenda. So just letting them take any heaviness. You're clearing your energy. And as you step in to this beautiful temple, you notice you're in a beautiful courtyard. And again, there's so much pearlescent white light, golden light, magenta streaks, and any other colors that show up for you. And as your eyes start to get accustomed to this light, you start to notice different shapes appearing. You start to notice like, oh, you notice a little more of the structure. Maybe you notice the floor that's lined with all of these beautiful crystals. Perhaps you notice some flowers, beautiful flowers. And somewhere there in the center of the courtyard, you notice a beautiful altar. And you know, without knowing how you know that on this altar you can place any prayer, any worry, any intention, anything that is heavy on your heart, or maybe it's not heaviness, maybe it's just something you're working on that you would like help with. So whatever that is, we welcome your guardian angels to take all of that, and place it on the altar. Whatever it is, whether it's prayers for you or someone you love, whatever it is, your guardian angels put it on this. You might not even consciously know, but trust your guardian angels. They know. And there next to the altar stands beautiful archangel stand fun. Yes, that dirty, wrong, and he knows anything that's and he's there with his beautiful smile, with his loving eyes, with his beautiful wings. Remember, this is beyond any religious doctrine. This is a being of unconditional love. And I just see him winking at each of you, saying, I've got prayers, they are here. Like, I will deliver them. And he reassures you that if later you remember a prayer that you didn't include, to not. So feeling a relief that, okay, all of those prayers, they're being tended to. They're being tended to. I don't need to control it. I don't need to monitor it. Now you notice this spotlight appearing in the temple. Amidst all of this light, there's so much light, and yet a spotlight appears, a beam of golden light that you understand you are being invited by the divine, by God, by Goddess, by the creator, creatrix. You're being invited to step into this spotlight. And I feel Mother Mary, I feel Kuan Yin, I feel Green Tara and Isis, Mary Magdalene, and many others here witnessing and supporting you. So if there's one that feels particularly close to you in this moment, like I feel Mother Mary just extending her hand, holding my hand, very lovingly walking me to the spotlight. Of course, she's not dragging me. She's just holding my hand because it's always my choice. And you might feel that too, Mother Mary, with her unconditional love, with her great compassion, with her great wisdom and power as a high priestess that she is, bringing you to this beautiful spotlight. And as you are there, you're there in the spotlight, receive the grace of the divine. Receive the love of your own higher self and soul. And ask your soul as the divine, whatever, however, whoever you're called to ask this question to you, get the same answers all together. What is my next level of leadership? What is my next expansion? These are all questions that are really the same, but just notice which one speaks to you. And you don't have to answer all of them, but what is my next level of leadership? What is my next level of expansion? What am I not doing that you're guiding me to do? What am I not doing that you're saying, it's time, beloved, you're ready? Where am I hiding? And you're saying, time to come out of hiding. Where am I holding back from loving more? Really feeling that question for all of us. Let's ask our soul, let's ask the divine, where am I holding back my love? Where you're saying, no, you need to open your heart, love even more. And just receive the answers. You don't need to know them right now, but this light is blessing you with all of the guidance, all of the love, all of the wisdom, all of the steps. All of it is getting downloaded. You're receiving a divine download. It's getting downloaded into your heart and your cells, and you don't need to know the details in this moment. And just thank your heart, thank your soul, thank the divine, thank Mother Mary and your guardian angels and all of the ascended masters, everyone who is here for you. And notice their gratitude for you, for your courage, for your saying, like, for continuing to come back to love after all of the trauma, all of the wounding. You continue to come back to love. And if there's anything you want to ask for, I'm going to be silent here for about a minute and just let you have your own conversation with your soul, with the divine. No, go ahead. And starting to take some deep breaths. Trust that the guidance will continue. And noticing this beautiful temple that we've been in together, starting to almost like lift off, dissolve into the air molecules. See yourself somewhere beautiful in nature, your bare feet touching the earth. I send some Reiki energy to help you integrate on all levels what just unfolded: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, across all dimensions of time, across all space and time. Again, just see yourself somewhere beautiful outside, your feet touching the earth. And starting to take some deep breaths as you connect with your body very consciously. Notice what stretches feel good in this moment. Perhaps first you start by wiggling fingers and toes, rotating wrists and ankles. And just any stretches that you need to do, perhaps rubbing your hands, rubbing the bottoms of your feet, drinking some water. Very gently opening your eyes. I know I'm reading that the connection was a little off in some point, so I hope you heard enough of it. So really, I'm gonna burn some Palo Santo. And just take a moment to see those roots that we took deep into the earth. We connected with each other, and let's go ahead and disconnect the roots, still staying very grounded and present, and still feeling, if it feels good to you, still feeling the support of those crystals, although you might have different ones now that show up as we're in the integration, right? As we're stepping outside of the temple space. Oh, thank you, Jill. You got Serapis Bay Ascension today. Perfect. Deborah, you're using your Palo Santo spray. Perfect. I'm going to use my Palo Santo spray right now. And I'm sending it to all of you. So I have some cards I'll pull for the group, and a couple of reminders, which I wrote down so I wouldn't forget. So one, this month's virtual career Reiki. I'm so excited about it. It's on, it's not this coming Wednesday, the next Wednesday, the 25th. Yes. It's all about healing the divine masculine, right? And I talked about that a little bit today. We really, it's so interesting because, and all they often have to save the princess, where in reality, let me tell you how it is. In reality, the divine feminine is really rescuing the masculine within us. I'm not talking about going rescuing a guy, okay? This isn't what it's about. But our own, it's interesting because we carry that wounded masculine, we carry that wounded feminine, and then we get on this journey of healing our wounded feminine. And then we realize, oh gosh, I need to heal my wounded masculine, right? And it's like, but this virtual career Reiki is going to be all about aligning with the divine masculine, because it does no good. Trust me, it does no good for us to just be in love with our divine feminine and ignore our masculine energy, because then it doesn't really create change in our lives. Then we'll have another lifetime where we'll have to learn the same lessons again, right? So it's so important. So I'm very excited to have a whole virtual career Reiki all about the divine masculine, because I haven't done that before. And frankly, I wasn't ready for it. I've been really on a journey of integrating that and healing my, it's been a long journey. Honestly, I think it officially started when I had my first son, because I have 5 children, and I had daughter. And I, by that point, thought for sure I was just going to have girls. And I had my son, and it was like, it was really this awareness, like, whoa, I need to really work on my mess, like I need to really heal at that point in my life. I had so much anger and so much, frankly, hatred of a lot of what I saw men standing for. I've done a lot of healing since then. It's been a lot of layers of it. So I know now is the time to embrace that. So if you want to join me on that journey so that you can take those action steps you're meant to take. Not only action steps, I want to say the divine masculine is devoted to the feminine. If you really want to embrace self-love, self-approval, we need the masculine. The divine masculine is like in love with you. I'm not talking about the wounded masculine, right? The divine masculine inside of you is like, hey, you need to pause. You need to go take that bath. You need to go do this thing. You need to really tend to yourself so that your channel can be clear and you can be here, sharing your unconditional love. Your divine masculine is not distracting you or getting you off path. He's like devoted to you, his queen. So we need this. So anyway, I'd love to see you for that. And then the other thing, September 17th, Divine Creatrix Retreat. So excited. Several of you have already signed up. It's Friday, September 17th. It's virtual creatrix, right? We have 3 archetypes within us. We have the teacher, the healer, the creatrix. And we tend to get stuck in the healer often. The creatrix, right? It's like the mother, but when I'm doing this retreat, it's not the divine mother retreat. This is the divine creatrix. So this is the birther, and I'm not talking about physical birth and babies, although obviously that's sacred and wonderful, but that's not what this is about. Divine creatrix, like what are you birthing? What are you creating? Whether it's a product or whether it's your life. We're going to step into that creatrix energy and really talk more about how does the divine feminine and the divine masculine, how do they interact to then birth what in ancient Egypt they called the Horus, right? Birth that third energy. That is what you're creating. That is what Immaculate Conception is. And so I'm excited about that retreat. It will be recorded and it's going to be awesome. So if you want to sign up, I would love to see you. You can find that on my website and on Facebook page, and I'll be sending I'll send the link when I send the replay as well, so you can read about it. And of course, you can always email me if you have questions. Jill, oh great, Jill, so glad. All right, so let's pull some cards. So first one, I'm going to pull from the Surrender deck, The Power of Surrender by Dr. Judith Orloff. Love this deck. Oops. So let's see, what is the message for you? So perfect. Surrender defensiveness. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out. Then offer a clear, non-defensive response. Look at this beautiful image. And look at what she has, a sword. So this is so interesting, right? Because we can wield the sword with defensiveness. Like, no, don't hurt me, oh my gosh, or attacking. Or we could wield the sword of truth. That's what this is saying, right? When we stand in our power and we can let go of defensiveness because we know we're ultimately protected, and then share our truth from that place. So I love that. And really remembering compassion, right? So it's like to not beat ourselves up if we notice that we're getting defensive. All that means is there's a part that's wounded, that needs our love. That's all it means. So, it's, again, we can recognize with love in ourselves, like, oh gosh, there's a part of me that's getting defensive about that. That's okay. It just means there's a part inside of me that needs a lot of love right now. So let's do, I'm just going to do 2 more, Sacred Traveler and then an animal card, and then we will be done. This is from Denise Lynn. Oh my gosh, I haven't gotten this card in a long time. Okay, love it. Voyage of the Heart. Love flows through you and to you. Oh my gosh, this is like so perfect. Look at this beautiful, beautiful image. I feel like that's what we were doing, right? When you were pulsing our heart, opening our heart. Right? Look at the universe there. Look at the water and that message. Love flows through you and to you. That's why we do this. Oh, Deborah saying that's my card for the season. Well, there you go, Deborah. This is like really validating that. And to me, that's very similar to I am blessed and I am a blessing, right? Like it's like as you bless others, you are blessed, right? So as we channel unconditional love, we actually receive it first. So I love that. And finally, I'm just going to do an animal card. It's this new animal deck I got, which I'm like totally, totally, totally in love with. And so look at the back. I love this. Look at the animals circling the earth. This is, I got it from Etsy. It's called Power Animals of the Planet. And this beautiful artist, her name is Ellen Brenneman. So anyway, let's see what animal comes. One of my favorite animals, elephant, family, nurture. Look at this beautiful elephant. And of course, elephant always makes me think of Ganesh, remover of obstacles, right? Elephant has such sacred medicine, longevity. I'm trying to get you to see it without the light. Yeah, the lamp. So just really connect. And also, you know, what I'm really, as I tune in to the elephant medicine, elephants, like you see them, they take up space. They're heavy, not in a heavy from a sense of burden. It's just like buffalo medicine, right? They take up space. So first of all, if you need grounding, call on the elephant medicine. Feel that elephant next to you. Even imagine you're an elephant and feel that like, oh, you're so connected to the earth. But it's also like take up space, be seen. You are here to take up space. You are here to be seen. All right. Thank you, everyone. Always such a joy to be here with all of you. Oh, Voyage of the Heart and the Heart Temple. Yes. Thank you, everyone. I look forward to seeing you soon. And all of these offerings. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and I'll be sending the replay by tomorrow. Bye, everyone. See ya. You're welcome, Patty. Bye. Thank you, Jan. Thank you, Joanna.